Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Yukio Edano there. Yukio Edano expressing his condolences to the survivors of the March 11th quake and tsunami. He says the government is determined to solve the problems as soon as possible. He added that the government needs to continue to take proper safety measures, especially when high levels of radiation is present near the Fukushima Dai-ichi nuclear power plant. Also, Edano stated that they are concerned, or they're thinking about, the cumulative radiation in the air. Now, the operator of the disaster-hit Fukushima Dai-ichi nuclear power plant has been working frantically to restore cooling systems at the reactors. But even 1 month after the disaster, it does not know when the situation will be brought under control. The March 11th earthquake and tsunami stopped the plant's cooling systems, resulting in explosions and fires at some reactor buildings. The plant continues to release radioactive substances into the air and sea. On Sunday, the Tokyo Electric Power Company, or TEPCO, began removing debris using unmanned heavy machinery. Heavily contaminated water in turbine buildings and a concrete tunnel is hampering work to restore cooling functions in the reactors. TEPCO plans to begin moving highly radioactive water from the concrete tunnel to a turbine condenser on Monday. The company is considering a variety of options for restoring the cooling systems, which is vital for preventing further damage.
Can't say when we will introduce the new measures to keep the reactors cool.
Tokyo Electric Power Company has begun using unmanned heavy equipment to remove radioactive rubble at the Fukushima Dai-ichi nuclear plant. Hydrogen explosions blew off the ceilings and walls of the number 1 and number 3 reactor buildings. The debris is emitting hundreds of millisieverts of radiation per hour in some places, hindering the restoration work. The utilities started using remote-controlled power shovels and bulldozers to remove the rubble on Sunday afternoon. A lead-covered mobile operating room will be used for places that cannot be reached by radio waves. TEPCO says the rubble will be put into containers and stored at the plant under strict supervision, as it may be contaminated with high levels of radiation. Heavily contaminated water in turbine buildings and a concrete tunnel is also hampering the task of restoring the reactor's cooling functions. As of Sunday morning, high radioactive water was only 92 centimeters from the top of the concrete tunnel at the number 2 reactor. The utility plans to begin transferring the water from the tunnel into the reactor's condenser. Demonstrators staged a rally in Tokyo on Sunday to call for the closure of all nuclear power plants in Japan. The protest was organized by 8 anti-nuclear groups following the disastrous events at the Fukushima Dai-ichi nuclear plant. The organizers say about 2,000 people took part in the demonstration. The protesters marched more than 4 kilometers. They urged the government to make a policy shift to use alternative energy resources and shut down every nuclear power plant in Japan. Outside the industry ministry and the headquarters of Tokyo Electric Power Company, the demonstrators called on the government and the firm to take more responsibility for what happened at the Fukushima plant. They also demanded that the Hamaoka nuclear plant in prefecture should be shut down, saying it too is vulnerable to a tsunami. Monday marks 1 month since the massive earthquake and tsunami hit northeastern Japan. About 150,000 people are still living in evacuation shelters. Many have lost their homes, jobs, and family members and are facing the challenge of rebuilding their lives. At 2:46 p.m. on March 11th, a magnitude 9 earthquake struck northeastern Japan. It was the largest quake on record to hit the country. Areas along the Pacific coast were devastated by the tremor and the ensuing tsunami waves more than 10 meters high. The National Police Agency says 13,013 people have been confirmed dead. The total number of deaths and registered missing is 27,621. Some coastal areas devastated by the tsunami are still not able to determine the exact number of missing people.